Hello, everyone. My name is Toby, and you can see here, I am with my BFF, Greta.
Hi. I'm here with that, Toby. That was very high energy. I love that. I feel like I'm now ready to take on the world. I could go into a boxing match and win now with that energy you gave me. Like,
Yeah, I know. We were supposed to talk about what goes, God, that's one to eat the we will be talking about people with disabilities and about ourselves because why not it's like talking to yeah. But before we let's talk about other stuff, please don't have to but I'm a doing me and other brother my friend. God credit I did not YouTube not that or rather and rather cat una on the 1 year no.
thank you for shouting out my cat. He would be in here right now, but he decided right before we started interviewing that he wanted to be in the other room, so.
The cat died. No, how are you today, cat?
I'm good. I took a shower a couple hours before this interview and I accidentally wore one of my AirPods into the shower, but I realized pretty early into it, like the water started going to my hair and I realized there's an AirPod in my ear, which is bad because like as far as I know, they're not waterproof, but I got it out really quick and dried it out. And I found out a few minutes ago it still works. So I'm like super relieved. But let's get into it. So you wanted to talk about people with disabilities
Yeah,
and like, yeah.
and that underestimated of disability is what cat
Oh, say that again? I didn't actually fully understand you.
underestimated people with disabilities is what.
It is so underfilled to underestimate people with disabilities. Like, it is 2020. It is almost 2021. What are you doing if you're underestimating people with disabilities? It's like, yeah, maybe you haven't met a person with a disability, but have you heard of the internet? Have you heard of the For You page of TikTok with all these people talking about how their disabilities doesn't make them less human and that they are just as capable as anyone else? Like, hello?
Yeah, we are. The,
Yes.
yeah.
I almost knocked something almost fell off my desk when I hit it, so no more hitting my desk for me.
uh, yeah. I never remember a disability in animal and it need to stop.
It does need to stop. Well, and it's like hard because sometimes people get like people I believe people are good and I think sometimes people um aren't hateful towards people with disabilities, but they're just like uncomfortable with it because they've never been around it or they've always been able to walk away from it. And I think people that don't have disabilities like need to be more aware that they need to be a lot more inclusive, like and make more of an effort to be friends with and everything, but also to treat them normally. Like, yeah, you may have to ask them to repeat themselves because you guys haven't like when Toby and I first became friends, I would have
Yeah.
to ask him to repeat himself a lot because
Yeah, and
yeah.
we were always sorry and that the big up you know and the sorry.
I really thought you were gonna swear. I'm like, there are people in your home. But well, the reason I apologized was because I felt like it was just kind of crappy that I couldn't understand you off the bat, but I do understand why you told me to stop apologizing because it was really hindering our conversation. But what are some things people can do that would make you feel more welcome as a person with a disability?
Um, like the make the first move and they ultimate and ability. Ego without what the camera and the group yourself. So I do and the group myself. Then and I do worry about me being a bother because in my the end don't or people don't want to talk to me. So that is why I don't want to make the move.
That makes sense, and I think that's fair because, like, I hate to say it this way, it kinda makes sense for the other person to make the first move, like, you're more than welcome to, obviously, but I think non-disabled people should feel more inclined to make the first move because also it's like you might be in a situation where it's a crowded room and it takes you a second longer to navigate over to someone just because of your wheelchair or whatever, and it's like they could just easily walk over and say hi to you and stuff. And you also made a good point of like you don't want people to like talk down to you. You just want to be spoken to normally because there's nothing wrong up here. So like why would they talk to you like you're not smart?
Yeah, like I'm a baby.
Yeah, you're not a baby. You have a baby face, but you're not a baby.
What I do, I'm adorable.
That's true. One thing you said to me that always like really bothered me, like, was when we after we first met, you sent me a message. We had met at VidCon last year. You'd sent me a message. It was like, "Hey, it was really nice meeting you. Thank you for treating me like a normal person." And that I remember that message like really broke my heart because I just felt like it was weird that you had to thank me for being a basic human being. And it makes me kind of just feel bad that you're kind of used to people like not treating you the way you should be treated.
Like, hello, how are you today? You so adorable. So, what is your favorite color? What do you like to do? I
Is
am
that how
pink.
people talk to you? Wait, is that really how people talk to you? Do people ask, you're 17, people ask you what your favorite color is when they meet you? That's weird. That's not how you talk to a 17-year-old boy.
Well, I did not, and I am like that. I people talk to me, and I
Oh,
don't.
that's okay, hold on. I thought you meant people in real life because on TikTok Live, people actually ask me the same thing. TikTok Live's a little bit different because those are like 9-year-olds a lot of the time and they just don't know how to talk to people yet.
You talk
Some drama happening off screen. You talk to me like a little kid. No, I don't. I think also like a bigger scale thing is just there should be more disabled people shown in media. Like there should be more disabled people like in movies, more like disabled people who have more lines in movies, more like cartoons that feature.
Let me say something. Okay, and in the way, when I and at the end of the grade, we were doing a play and they told us. And my teacher told me, you have the best part in the whole wide world. Your part is what makes the play good. And guess what? It was only one line or two lines.
Yeah, like that seems a little bit condescending, but like this is going to sound like a really mean thing of me to say. I remember high school, like I feel like theater teachers always sound a little bit condescending and they just want everyone to perform well in the show, and even if you have like every role is important, but they want to motivate everyone to like do their best. So she might have been he or she may have just been trying to motivate you, but they also could have just been like, they're trying to boost you up. And it's true, like the fact it's better that you had one line than no lines. But in general, I do like agree that it's like we shouldn't like pat ourselves on the back as a society when we give a disabled person one line. It's not like we did it. It's like we barely like have scraped the surface. It's like, why don't we see love, like why don't we watch rom-coms where the main character has a disability? Why don't we see that at like in movie theaters and stuff? Why isn't that a thing? Like, hello, like
Uh,
that's an accomplishment.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah, I think he or she meant well, but I can see where that like would be a very irritating thing for you to hear. But yeah, so obviously people when they talk to you shouldn't condescend. They shouldn't assume that they're stupid, but also it's like you have cerebral palsy, correct?
Yep.
Yeah. So if I become your friend, like if I'm your friend, one thing I should do is if someone says, I have cerebral palsy, it's kind of your responsibility to go online and learn what that means instead of being like, oh, cerebral palsy, that's interesting. I think it's like, the internet is super easy. Just Google generally what it means, how it affects your body, and how it's going to affect your life. And then you're going to be able to relate a lot more to Toby or whoever that person is in your life. Like, don't act like an idiot. It's not your job to explain what cerebral palsy is. It's like the internet's there. Have you ever noticed someone like avoid you because of your disability and did it hurt you? Does that happen to you?
Yes, every day I do. Nobody talks to me at all. Except my age and yeah. And my Jesus of course and some men, but basically nobody. Especially all my friends from elementary, they don't talk to me at all.
That's a shame. And that's on them. Like, but it's, I feel like it comes down to a lot of things. Like, parents should, go ahead. Sorry.
Me and my big at them elementary, I thought we were going to be that level because I thought we really long, but we never saw how.
That's hard. And that's hard for you to put up with because you have all these friends from elementary school and now like no one talks to you and no one has
Yeah,
told you why, and it's just like why won't people try a little harder for you? Cuz yeah, like it was hard to understand you at not like hard. It was a challenge to understand you at first, but what? It didn't take that long. For now, it's like whenever you talk to me, I like most of the time understand, and if I don't, I just have you repeat it. You're like a really nice
yeah.
person. You're really
That
funny.
that is like I don't mind. Little cousin, that is the ever the unknown law, the development with people with disability and the not be one of the activities of the single because they know someone with a disability so well. They then know that people with disabilities are normal. Anyway, guys, I don't know that every day, believe it or not, believe that, but believe that I'm gonna move later. I know I got good on the platform and I got one uno
Thanks for
on
shouting out my cat.
the yeah.
Nice.
By the way, I know you do it the great on Instagram. So yeah.
I'm super excited for you to do that, and you're gonna do it soon.
Bye bye.
Bye.